we are happy to have Maritime Launch Services here, who are building the first spaceport in Nova Scotia. Spaceport, Nova Scotia, is going to be the only truly commercial satellite launch facility in North America. Steve Mathieu is president and CEO, and also the recipient of the NASA Astronaut Silver Snoopy Award, NASA Manual Flight Awareness Award. We're so happy to have Steve Mathieu here today to tell us a little bit about not only the company, but this idea and operation in general, which is very exciting, Steve. And it's exciting because it's in Canada, obviously. Tell us a little bit about Maritime Launch Service.
Thank you. I very much appreciate the opportunity to be with you today. It's a pretty exciting time for us with our company and the public listing that just went live yesterday. You've heard the adage about location, 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 and it's really true when you're wanting to put satellites into orbit and you're trying to find the best place to be able to do it. And then the other part is really timing of this. The commercial space industry is at $400 billion per year and headed for $1 trillion per year by 2040. And the backbone of that entire industry is all about putting satellites into space. A business that builds satellites, having them sit on the ground doesn't do them any good. And they also want to put them into space in certain locations. So the world has changed as far as where we've been putting satellites these days. It used to be you put them around the equator in equatorial launch platforms. Nowadays, though, we're really looking at these constellations, hundreds, thousands of satellites that people are going to be putting in to low Earth orbit, and more polar type orbits are of interest to people, or inclined orbits slightly off from that, but going away from that geosynchronous equatorial type of launch. Well, hanging out over the top of the North Atlantic in Nova Scotia on the northeast corner of the peninsula, looking south, we've got thousands of kilometers of open ocean. It's the perfect place for building a spaceport and for meeting that customer demand. And that's what it's all about, is where do the customers want to go? We've got the place that really is accessible for where they want to put their satellites.
So when it comes to the actual business here, and if you're interested, guys, it's worth noting MAXQ, brand new NEO listing, as Steve was mentioning there this week. MAXQ is the ticker here. So when it comes to the actual business, talk a little bit about what services are going to be offered from a commercial spaceport in general, and the difference here between, I mean, in the past, everyone might be more aware of these types of services on the government side. What sets apart a commercial service versus a government?
Yeah, it is truly about launching where you want, but also launching when you want, and launching where that first customer comes, they get to fly when they want to go. There is only one other commercial launch site on Earth, and that's in New Zealand, and it's a launch vehicle of 150 kilograms. Great place that they've got going there. What we're offering is in North America, being able to put 5 tons into low Earth orbit where these people want to go. And being a commercial launch site, we're not like Vandenberg or the NASA centers at Kennedy Space Center, Wallops Island, or even in Kourou in South America that are really more government focused. We are truly looking at that commercial opportunity. When you speak about a commercial aerospace industry and $400 billion a year, how can it be truly commercial if we're using government ranges? So being a commercial offering to be able to give people what they want, when and where and when they want it, is really a key discriminator for us going forward. We're about serving our satellite clients.
Communication continues, obviously, to be a huge part of the everyday world. Going forward, let's talk about the growth potential here a little bit. Also, maybe touch a little bit on who are the customers, really, that are going to be in need of this service. And then as far as growth is concerned, what are we looking at over the next few years?
Well, we've already got a dozen letters of intent from aggregators to satellite manufacturers with constellations in mind, and that's really an important part, I think, for us to keep in mind. But the things that they're doing are really quite interesting. I mean, there's the whole global broadband, what SpaceX is doing with Starlink. There's a number of other companies that are doing similar kinds of global broadband offerings. Heck, there was the opportunities with Internet of Things and controlling vehicles remotely, and how are you going to maintain that data stream to be able to remote control vehicles, to near Earth imaging kinds of technologies, trying to find methane leaks out west, and the synthetic aperture radar satellite that do that, or the hyperspectral imaging satellites. It's just amazing. Since 2011, really following the last shuttle mission, all these science opportunities have opened up, the creativity of the commercial industry. So there's so many things that people are doing, from experiments to conducting business in space for global broadband communications and the like, are just really ramping up just at the beginning of that.
Exciting timeline to come over the next coming months for the company and for this service in general. What do investors need to know as far as what is to come from Maritime Launch Services?
We are absolutely on track with a phased approach to getting to full launch. I mean, at the end of the day, our goal is to reach a medium class launch capability by 2024. That's where a vehicle can carry 5 tons to low Earth orbit. Pardon me. But before then, we're going to do some small launches, some baby steps to get us a suborbital, an orbital launch of 150 kilogram capacity, and so on. That gives us that opportunity to build revenue, to get through that whole regulatory framework of putting stuff into space, while we're trimming out the rest of the facility for the medium class launcher. So it's that first launch in the middle of next year kind of time frame, suborbital. And we're really set for that. With this public listing and the financing that came along with this thing, we're set to really achieve that first launch next year the way we're going, while we're trimming out the rest of the facility for a more robust launch vehicle.
An industry that is just in the beginning and in the infancy of growing and all kinds of growth potential. Check out MAXQ, guys, Maritime Launch Services. Steve Matke is president and CEO of the company. We appreciate your time today. Thank you.